Hello lovelies, today is day 25. Welcome back, and if you're new here, my name is Della and I'm doing a series for 100 days, even though I've been slacking, I'm not gonna lie, this month, about doing something every day. I'll get back on track, but I'm here. If you don't know, I have major ADHD, and so habits are really hard for me, and so I'm trying to be disciplined through this channel. And I hope it gives you some relief for you guys, that even if you fail, you can always come back. But I got some rabbits here, and I am going to be doing some homemade chicken noodle soup, and then I will can the rest. I'm going to do a big one in my roaster here. So let's get started. So I have some carrots and some celery here. We're going to start with about 8 carrots and about 8 celeries or so. Probably do more carrots. You want a carrot?
Yes.
Hold on, that one is a... Here, that one. Alright, so I might add more later, and I'll do the onions and stuff later. But let's go ahead. Just start. Okay, so I went ahead and I made my noodle dough. It kind of does look like a potato. But I went ahead and I added, we were in here, everybody else was cleaning while I was doing this, so the vacuum was going, there'd be no sense to talk. In my bowl, I added 2 cups of flour. I have acorn flour. You can use whatever flour you want. If you want more, like for like shelf stable, all-purpose is a great one. But I did 2 cups of my flour, and then I did a good pinch of salt in there. Mixed it up. I used about 4 eggs, and then I hand kneaded it on the counter here, adding more flour as I needed. And it's just so beautiful now. It's very pliable. It's perfect. And I just went ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and put this in a wet towel, and I'm going to put it in my fridge for about 15 minutes so I can use it. I'm a little late on making it. I kept getting squirrel moments, and I was going to make it, and then I forget all about it. So here it is in 15 minutes. It can last up to 2 days in the fridge. You can leave it up into the fridge for 2 days as long as it's covered or has a wet tea towel around it. And the longer it sits, the more pliable it's going to get. Alright, so I went ahead, it's already all in here. I want more broth because of the noodles. Like, I'm not going to can the noodles with them. I have that getting ready to boil. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my noodles out. And I saved everything once again from the vegetables into the freezer for my veggie broth and for other broths. And then here I got 4 rabbits, and each rabbit was about a pound of meat. So I have about 4 pounds of meat in here. Lightly dust my surface with flour. So all I'm gonna do is I lightly floured it, and I'm just gonna knead it a little bit more. You don't want to put too much in it. I'm just gonna use a knife. Cut that in half. Cut it into a quarter. Now, I'm gonna lay more of this out here. Grab my rolling pin. Kind of flour the sides here. Flour will be like one of your best friends when you're making homemade noodles. This should be good for one of us. I don't know, if I need more, I'll get more. So you can get more out from your noodles if you did it longer. Like you really took your time. I'm not really taking my time tonight. And also if you used a pasta maker, I have one of those hand cranked ones. I mean, I didn't want to bring it out, dirty it up, do more dishes. I already have so many dishes and there's just so much going on tonight. I didn't want to do it. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys a different way of doing things. So I got going to boil, but I'm not going to let my kettle boil. It's going to get warm. And what I've done is I've put like one this way, and then that way they meet up. Then these butt up. What's going to happen? Levi, please stop. What's going to happen is that way, whenever I pull them out, it's not going to be really hard to take them out. And I'm just going to put them in here. And I'm going to put the water over it. Too hot, so we're just going to pour it in there. That way it just softens them. The rubber piece. Go ahead and put my jars in here. That way that they could just come up to temperature. They'd be really, really hot whenever I'm ready for the to put the stuff in the jars. filled them to 1 inch headspace. Now we are going to debubble. I'm going to grab a clean towel.
Hold on. Okay, clean part. Now get my arm.
And I'm going to clean off these rims with some of that hot water that we have our lids sitting in.
I can't squeeze him.
Now we're going to take a dry towel. Please don't play under my camera.
I want to get a towel.
Please don't play under my camera though. I'm going to take my clean dry finger. I'm going to make sure that there's no cracks, jars aren't busted, and there's no food or particles on the lid, on the rim, that could prevent a seal. Like this one could go a little bit more. There we go. Now we're going to take our lid lifter and get our lids. Woo! I think that'll be alright though. Now I know. Fingertip tight. That way they don't buckle under pressure.
It's hard for me in here, Bobby.
A good way for fingertip tight is you could go like this and don't go any further than what it can go. So not cranking it. Alright, and I filled half with the meat and the veggies and such, and then half with the broth, just on its own. That way it gives room for the noodles. So I thought I was going to use 2 pressure canners tonight. I'm only going to use 1, and I'm going to save the rest for food for us to eat. But I am going off of this ball book here on page 104 with the chicken soup. That's what I'm following. Even though this is rabbit, it'll still be the exact same. So this one, I am going to, since I have quart jars, I'm going to can for an hour and a half. Once this comes up to pressure, I'm going to can this for an hour and a half, and then let it do its thing. I can leave a link in the description and where the timestamp is of a video before, where I kind of go over all of the pressure canning more in depth. But when this goes up to pressure, I'm just waiting for that now. Okay, so I went ahead. This has already come up to pressure. It's a steady stream right here for 10 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and put my pressure gauge on there. And then this will come up to 11 psi or 11 pounds of pressure. It just depends on your altitude, so double check on that. Otherwise, I'm doing 11 pounds of pressure for an hour and a half. And once that comes up to 11 pounds per pressure, which the 11 is on here, this little dial gauge, you can't really see it right now, but when that says 11, that's when I'll start my time. And if it goes under, you'll have to restart your time. But if it goes over a little bit, you will be perfectly fine. Just get it back down to what it needs to be. Everyone, so when this came up, sorry, we had family night. We were watching a movie, so I figured I needed to focus on that. You guys can go into more detail on some of my other videos if you want. When it came down to pressure, there was 0 pressure. We waited 5 minutes, took off the lid. Actually, Evan did while he let me take a shower. And then now this has been sitting for like 10 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take those out. Like I said, it looks really weird looking, and that's only because of the water. That's what it did when it pressurizes. This, you could take it away by adding distilled vinegar in with your jars. I even had the distilled vinegar next to it. I am just always one of the steps I usually forget. It will not harm anything on the inside. Like I said, I put only a little bit. I wanted a little bit more in there, but that's fine. because we actually really like it soupy, like brothy. So we have like a little less than half, a little less, not much in them. And then most of those will sink back down. So alrighty guys, well that is it. That is all we got tonight. Just 7-quart jars, and then the other ones just fed my family for today and tomorrow. If you have lovelies have any questions, please just put them in the comments below. Any thing like that. This video was a little, maybe when I go back and edit it won't be as bad, but I feel like this video was very hit and miss. But it's done. It's good to see it. Anyways, you guys have a blessed night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.